Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Oh
Good.
my gosh, look at your gorgeous background.
Oh, thank you. It's my tapestry.
Ooh, so proper. I love it. It is really funny though. I read this whole, forget, it was a while back, sort of like mid quarantine of, now that all about the sort of Zoom backgrounds and the IG
Yeah.
live backgrounds. Anyways, how are you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm doing good. Sorry if you can hear my cat fiddling around in the background. He is
Oh,
very
sweet.
active in the mornings, so
What time is it there for you?
it is 9 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for joining me so early.
No, thank you. I get to start the day. So
Oh, all right.
this
Let's
is
let's make it a
great.
good day. Let's do it. I took like the break off between the holidays. Oh man, I had to have like 3 cups of coffee this morning to come back, just like get ready. Like, woo! Yeah.
I've got mine.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of the new year, I mean, obviously the past year, and we're still in it, has been full of craziness.
Mm.
What films or television shows kind of have been getting you through all of the madness, either for like a good cry, a good laugh, some
Oh,
inspiration?
this year I finished the last season of BoJack Horseman, which broke me. I love that show. I also watched the entirety of New Girl. So I
Oh,
was just binging New Girl because I've never seen it before. And I was like,
mm.
how have I not done this before? And then another really good teen series is called My Mad Fat Diary, which I think if
Oh,
people are looking for a hole to fill after the wilds, My Mad
yeah.
Fat Diary will fill that. Jodie Comer, mwah, love her.
Oh my
Sharon Rooney.
gosh. How do I not know about this?
It is an amazing British teen show, and I love it. And Jodie Comer, she's like so young in it, and
Oh,
it's her as a teenager in the show, so it's
oh
so
my
good.
gosh. That sounds like heaven. I'm obsessed with her. She's so
I am
good.
so obsessed with her.
She
I
also
love
just
her.
seems like, I mean, I don't know her personally, but she just seems like a genuinely like nice person also.
Yeah, I wish I could say that I knew her personally. I wish I could be here and be like, she's so lovely. I can
Yeah.
only just be like, I love her from afar.
Jody, if you're watching,
Jodie, hey.
hey girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about the wilds. I mean, I'm obsessed with the show. I was obsessed when I watched, last year. And I feel like the whole world has just been swept up and is just in love with this show. Just first off, just describe Dot for us.
Dot is, she makes me laugh. Um, Dot is she's this suffer no fools Texan girl who has
Mm.
had to just grow up with this immense amount of responsibility. Um, One that not a lot of teenagers should go through, but through the good graciousness of her heart and through the love of her dad.
Mm.
Um, she is her man. He is she. Glug 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 girly.
It's okay. Sip that coffee,
She
baby.
sip that coffee. She is his main caretaker, and he is her
Yeah.
favorite person in the world.
Mm.
And she's funny, she's dorky, she doesn't care what other people think about her, and I learned a lot uh, from her in that sense.
Yeah, I'm in love with Dot. I feel like she right off the bat, she's like the kind of gal I would want to be stuck on a, deserted island with because she always
Oh,
keeps it
same.
real. Yeah, she always keeps it real. Her sense of humor is always intact. And like you said, like she has her shit going on at home. She has her hardships, but she's really truly puts others before herself. She's like
Mm,
very giving in that way. But she does it in this kind of effortless manner where she doesn't need anything in return. Like she's just
yeah,
graciously herself. And she's so badass. I mean, all of her like
she is.
wilderness. I mean, she's like our little Bear Grylls. I just
She's
adore
so little
her.
Bear Grylls. I love that man in my own life too. I used to watch Bear Girls with my dad, so it was interesting when I got the scripts, and this was also something Dot does with her dad, so it was something that I really related to.
Oh, that's
Um,
sweet.
yeah, she's a
Yeah, that's
fixer. She's
she
just
is
a
a
fixer.
fixer. She is a fixer, and I feel like, I mean, obviously, I think the crew could do more to sort of just check in with Dot, see how she's doing. She's definitely one of those women, young women, who just kind of exude so much natural strength and knowledge that you
Yeah,
forget. We forget about those women in our lives that even if they seem strong, we still have to check in with them, still see how they're doing. It's a good
yeah,
reminder to do that with the friendships in our lives,
yeah.
with the Dots in our lives, because they're so important.
I mean, they'll save you. They'll keep you alive.
They will. They will. I was always told I have this one friend who always said that I would be like the first to go on a deserted island. So I need to keep my
Same,
dots. I need to
probably.
keep my dots around.
Same.
um, I feel like the show does such a lovely job at sort of giving us a really meaningful perspective of female relationships.
Yeah.
What do you think is the number one lesson you want folks to walk away with learning about just how complex and layered, female relationships are?
I just want, I want people to walk away also knowing that female characters can indeed be three-dimensional
Mm,
human beings, and we
yeah.
can drive our own plots, and we do indeed have our own stories,
Hmm.
and we are central to that. And I think I just want people to walk away with some grace towards
Mm,
teenage females, because it
mm,
is hard being a teenager, full stop. But I think also in this age of social media, it's especially hard to be a teenage girl. All of a sudden,
mm,
these influences that um, these outside social influences that I didn't grow up with when I was 14. Like when I was 14, I was still wearing my Twilight cap and
oh,
Twilight t-shirt, and
yeah.
that was cool to me. But now if I did that on social media, I'd be like, what is she doing? Even though I just weirdly loved Twilight at the time.
I mean, I get it. Team Edward, it's fine.
I think
Um,
it's just this constant pressure to kind of be seen on social media, and this constant pressure to kind of present yourself for media and for strangers, and it's a lot of pressure. And I just hope that people walk away with grace towards kind of what teenagers go through nowadays, because it's very different, and it's yeah, it'd be really hard.
Absolutely. And I feel like the show does a wonderful job at sort of also showing those complexities within the female experience in so many different ways, where it's not just one female experience. You have these gals that are all dealing with becoming into, coming into themselves, into their own in different ways, and sort of having the obstacle that all young women face, but also the obstacles that are uniquely theirs, which again is just like the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
um, I do love, like, I really, really love and appreciate how this show never points out the fact that this is a bunch of women, young women on an island together. It
Yeah,
never says that. It never makes it, it's never like, oh, look what we can do as women. It never points out
it's like
this,
this is what we're doing. It's not
yeah.
we can do it, we are doing it.
Exactly. It's never like there's never this discussion of like, oh, wow, I don't know. It's never on the nose. Like it never
Mm,
points it out. And I appreciate that so much. It really, I think, humanizes the female experience in the sense of like, um, not what happens in the absence of men, but just what happens
yeah. And I think
um,
also these characters are just so unique in the fact that you can look at any one of these girls and their life experiences, and even if you
mhm,
are an adult, or you're no longer a teenage girl, or you are a man, whoever you are, there will be experiences that you kind of relate to, that you can kind of pick out and be like, oh, I've been through that. And now
Yeah.
I'm able to kind of see that on screen. Oh, there's my body type on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just really special to have so many unique, different voices. And I
Yeah.
love each and every one of my
I
girls
know
who
it's
I
so
did that
true, and
with.
I think that's why like obviously the concept is killer. It's such a fun concept. But I think what really makes this show so popular and why it's reaching so many, so many people is because of those unique experiences. Because we're learning that we need to see all types of experience represented on screen, and when those experiences aren't represented, you can just smell the bullshit. It's like,
Mm,
and it's just done in such a, like you said, it's there's a grace to it, and an effortlessness that's done where you don't really truly realize that you're watching such a sort of complex and layered character arcs unfolding in front of your eyes.
and that is such a praise to our writer, Sarah Stryker. She is absolutely incredible. And reading that first initial pilot when I came in for auditions, I actually auditioned for Leah first, which is
Oh, no
really funny to
way.
think about. Yeah, I auditioned for Leah. They were like, nah, no. But here's Dot. Like, Dot could work. And I remember just reading it and just falling completely in love with Sarah's writing. And I was like, one, this is someone I really want to work with.
Yeah.
And two, if I don't get to tell this story while I can still believably play a teenager, I'm gonna riot. Like, I'm gonna throw things around the room. If this show comes out and I'm like not in it, I'm gonna riot.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, like you said it, it's like, I think that it goes back to saying that we can show these experiences on screen, but if we don't have that representation behind the camera in the
Yeah.
writer's room, directing, whatever it is, it's not as authentic. And I think that
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the female experience, like you mentioned, it's such a fragile one. Like it is so, in this day and age of social media, there's more obstacles more now than ever to sort of come into our own as women, and we need those stories to be told by people who actually went through those things.
Oh, I do not want to go back to being a teenager, let me
Oh
tell
my
you.
gosh. I mean, it's crazy.
Glad.
Like, I was thinking about it, the pressures that we feel as women, and I don't know, not to burst anyone's bubble, but I don't know if those pressures ever truly go away. They sort of just manifest into in different ways. And I think that we learn to sort of, how to control those pressures, how to defeat those pressures, how to, say to hell with them. And we gain our confidence more through our life experiences. But does seem like we are thrown so much as young women. And it does feel like one day, I remember specifically, like you're talking about the Twilight shirts. I feel like I was playing with Barbies and then I was like out with boys. Like it like happened like so fast.
Yeah, it's the craziest, biggest change that you'll ever go through is high school. It's so, ugh. Loved it, but also I'm so glad. See you later.
See you later. See you later. Oh my goodness. Speaking of women behind the camera, is there someone that everyone should have on their radar, either in front of or behind the camera in this new year?
Oh, absolutely. 100% Sarah Stryker. I cannot wait to see what she does with season 2, and I cannot wait to see what she does after The Wilds is eventually over and done with. I think she's just one to watch, and I just love Amy and I love Jamie, and just those three women were such huge inspirational powerhouses to me. Just like seeing them come onto set and brace the same conditions we were, but be there for support for us as well was just so incredible. And yeah, I just really cannot wait to see what those girls do next.
Oh my goodness. So speaking of next, Wild's got picked up for season 2.
I know. I found out at 3 a.m. Miss Pigeon called me. She called me at 3 a.m. and I was asleep. And by now I should know if Pigeon calls me, if Sarah calls me in the middle of the night, I should probably answer. But here I am, like, picking up my phone, being like, "Oh, it's Sarah. I'm so sorry, babe. It's like 3 a.m. in Perth right now. I cannot talk." And she's like, "Look at your texts, answer the phone, you idiot." Picked up for a season 2. And I was like, "Oh," and you were trying to tell me, and I was just like, "See ya. I'm sleeping."
Listen, man, I mean, sleep is precious, okay? We're not all, can't all get up.
Yeah.
But that's funny. But I mean, I can't even, I don't want to spoil it. I feel like, it's been out for a minute that hopefully y'all have binged it. If you haven't, like, please watch it now on Prime Video. I don't know what you've been doing.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Leave. Get out of here. We're about to talk about stuff.
We're talking about stuff.
We're talking about stuff. That's not important. Go watch it. You can watch this later.
But I'm just like, damn, season 1. I mean, the way that season 1 ends, it's like, there better be a season 2 or that I'm going to throw stuff around. I mean, it's just.
What's really crazy is our actual last day on the beach. We were filming that whole Nora shark sequence.
Oh, God.
So that was actually our last day on the beach while we were doing that. And it was a really interesting. I was like, wow, we're sending it off. Not only are we leaving the beach set, but also now this is the end of the show that we're filming right now.
Wow.
And that was just me and Sophia playing Uno.
Yeah.
While the world crumbles around us. We're like, draw 4. Take that.
I mean, that's what we've all been basically doing for the past year.
Just seeing what Marcus has in his underwear. You got a shit hand. Whoops.
Uno has saved so many households, I can promise you, this past year.
Oh, it's destroyed mine. We take it very seriously.
Very competitive.
No putting draw 2s on draw 4s. That's fake. Don't come into my house with that rule.
Oh my God, how funny. I love it. No, but it's so, I mean, I was shocked when I was like, first of all, I'm like, again, spoiler alert.
Spoiler, leave.
I just can't believe, like, they would allow a shark. Like, that was very shocking to me because that is a real threat. And I just.
Yeah, definitely Gretchen should have gotten in there with a really big net and been like, "No sharks on our island." She's just like, "Yes, see how you deal with this, children."
Exactly. Yeah. Just throw Jaws at you. It's like a huge sucker too.
Let's see Dot fix this.
Yeah. So true.
It's insane.
Oh my God. I mean, not even Bear Grylls could,
I'd like to see him try.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him and Dot
I bet he
battle it off.
Wrestle a shark, punch it in the nose. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Punch the shark in the nose. And I'm like, who gets that close? What?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about where's all my limbs.
You're thinking about who's winning Uno. That's what you're thinking about.
I'm like, swim. Wink while I still have my arms. Wink. There's no punch in there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's crazy. But what are you hoping for? What are you hoping for Dot in season 2?
I've thought about this, and I would love for Dot to share her experience that she had with her father. I'm trying to avoid as many spoilers as I can.
Yeah, it's really tricky.
I'm hoping that Dot will kind of have this opportunity to open up and really kind of just embrace this healing that she's going through on the island and open up to someone about her experiences and what she's gone through. I just think that would be really interesting, not only to act, but also to feel in her character and really explore what that means to kind of say what she did out loud and kind of go through that last stage of healing. Oh, come here, kitty. Come on.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what I was talking about. Oh, beautiful kitty. Oh my goodness.
Very fat.
Oh, well, she eats well. I know my little baby, I have a little 10-pound Shih Tzu, Ripley. And I took her to the vet the
Oh,
other day, and they're like, she's gained a few pounds. I'm like, okay, back off. All right, it's quarantine.
same.
She's going through it too. Okay,
I have two.
the animals are going.
Whatever.
Yeah, like, all
Don't
right,
body
doctor.
shame my animal.
Exactly.
I don't care if it's for their health.
Yeah.
Don't bring that
them
negativity
live.
into my space.
They need their Takis too. But damn, I would do a lot for a bag of Takis, let me tell you.
Oh, I got sent one and it was delicious.
Oh, they're so good. They're
I wish they had them here. They make my mouth tingle and feel really weird.
Oh,
I'm
but
always
in
like
such a good way.
that weird like thing you get before you eat it, and you're like, why is my mouth already dry?
That's funny. I don't know what you're doing before you eat Takis. Yeah. No, but I feel like what the girls are kind of going through the process of learning, which is such a tough lesson, is this idea that being strong means being vulnerable, or allow yourself to be vulnerable, and that being vulnerable isn't a weakness. And I think that, they all are kind of perfectionists in their own sort of way, and they all hold things so tight to their hearts. And like I said, I feel like Dot needs someone to just allow her to put it out all on the table and to just have that release.
Absolutely. We kind of got a little bit with the Martha goat situation, which was a really lovely scene. And I love doing that scene with Jenna. And that was just, it was kind of the first time that she was very vaguely opening up about kind of what happened before she got there, unbeknownst to Martha herself. She thinks she's just talking about this goat, but yeah, I think it would be really interesting to kind of see that secondary stage of vulnerability kind of come out, and maybe this little bit of a little bit of shame and guilt that might come along with her situation of what happened in her past.
Yeah, and I think too, like with that conversation with the goat, which was so lovely, I think that she's also sort of coming to terms with her past out loud in a way that I don't know if she's ever done before, unbeknownst to obviously Martha, like you said. But that sort of cathartic, being able to sort of, rationalize a little bit of what happened, which is really healthy. And yeah, I would really like to see that. Like you said, I really like to see those conversations happen, but not with using the goat as the metaphor, but really allowing Dot to be like, to be the vulnerable one. She's so strong. She's so strong. And she's just like you said, she's really, I think that she truly is for me, like the heart of the show. She's the center of the show. I think that her attitude really is the glue. It keeps everyone together. And it's such a natural fit for her. And yeah, she's really I really admire Dot. And she's had to grown up so fast, which is, I think something that a lot of gals can sort of relate to in those situations.
Yeah, I related to her a lot in that fact. When I first started acting, I made the decision with the help of my beautiful, supportive mother that I'm from Perth originally in Western Australia, and the industry there is a little bit desolate. It's picking up now, wonderful. But at the time, it was like either I move eastern and I move to Melbourne and I give this a really good go, or maybe I finish high school and then go to uni. And I just decided at 17, I was like, all right, I'm going to move to Melbourne. I'm going to pay my own rent. I'm going to pay my own bills.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been living here from like 17 to 21. And I feel like I did have to grow up really fast. And all of a sudden I had these adult responsibilities. And then when my acting job kind of died down, I found myself being like, well, now I have to find a job to be able to live where I want to be so I can act. And so I was working at McDonald's when I was doing auditions for the Wilds. And
wow.
I remember Sarah Stryker calling me in the middle of a shift, and I just went out of my way. I'm locking myself in the break room. I was like, I don't care if I get fired right now. Lock myself in, and I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
Like, hi, it's Sarah.
Like, get it together, yeah.
Hi, it's Sarah Stryker, the writer. Do you have a minute to talk about your character? I'm like looking for a dirty napkin I can write on. And I'm like, yes, of course. Tell me everything. I really want this gig.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I feel like that's really admirable. And I feel like that's, you know, it's something like you said, it's like we're forced to grow up so fast when sometimes it's a tough balance being a young woman, like following your heart and also making sure that you're like not being taken advantage of, or I mean, there's just so many different kind of like overwhelming emotions that we're handed, especially when we're trying to persistently follow something that we believe in our whole heart and soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
glad I did it now. Thank God it worked out.
Well, I mean, you got it. I mean, like that's what you. I mean, it's a lot of just like hard work. You know, people don't realize how. I think it's always funny when people say in the industry like, oh, like this actress just popped out of nowhere, or oh, I've never seen. You're like, no, they've been working
You
their
didn't
ass
see
off.
all this work I did before, but like, yes, I did pop out
like
of nowhere.
You work your ass off. You audition. It's like it puts a toll on you.
Yeah, dealing with constant rejection is tough. But also it's such a unique experience that actors kind of go through is we go to so many job interviews per se and you experience more rejections than you do yeses, but it just takes that one yes to make all those no's okay. Yeah, it's a unique experience being an actor, and I'm just really lucky that I get to sit here and say I'm an actor. Not oh, I act, but I also make coffee at McDonald's. But like I'm an actor, I swear.
And I think like I mean I feel like we're so blessed too that you're an actor and that you've graced us with, you know, the beauty that is Dot. And you've done that. You said earlier to bring it full circle before I let you go and start your morning, but to bring it full circle, you said before that you hope that when people watch this show, they take away the lesson of, you know, grace and to approach the female experience and the young female experience with grace. And I think that that's what you have done. You have, you know, given us Dot and has made us, you know, take a step back. And it reminds me of being younger. And I think that that's what this show's doing. It's very powerful in that way. And
so lucky to be here and to be doing it with all the other girls. I think we all equally have just fallen in love with this show and our characters, and we're just so eternally grateful for the amazing support that this show has gotten. I would have never imagined in a million years, but yeah, thank you to everyone, and we're just so excited to go back.
I mean, obviously a show like this, I mean, y'all are so great in it. What a great, like you said, what a great group of talented young women. It makes me hopeful for the future of the industry. I think shows like this, we're going to be seeing more of shows like this that just, I feel grateful to be able to watch them, to be able to fall in love with them. And, you know, all the characters are really just so beautifully crafted and real, and just, I think, giving a lot of hope and helping a lot of young women being able to relate and get through obstacles of their own. And what more can you hope for?
Exactly. What more can you hope for? Just so happy. So glad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, Shannon, this was so lovely.
Oh, thank you
for chatting.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for getting up early and chatting with me. We adore you. We adore the show. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see what happens in season 2. I mean,
we'll see
y'all
in
don't know
season 2.
Oh my gosh. I just can't even imagine.
Feels so good to say that. season 2.
And it happened so quickly too. I mean, you didn't have to wait
God, it was
around
such a
very
shock.
long to find out.
Oh, thank God, because I run myself into a rut.
Yeah, you feel like,
I'm
oh
like,
God.
when will I know? Tell me. I want to be Dot again. Just let me go back to her.
Oh gosh. And here's hoping to, letting Dot vent a little bit in season 2.
Let
not
everyone
just
vent.
talking about goats, like actually be able to like
The
talk
season
about
of venting.
Oh, I really hope that for Dot. I really do. I think it's her turn. I think her turn's up to like, be vulnerable and to like just take a breath.
We will see.
I'm excited for that. I'm hopeful. So anyways, Shannon, thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's just so nice to be able to chat about the show. It's my favorite thing.
Oh my gosh. Well, you can chat with us anytime about the show. I'm obsessed. And yes, everyone, watch it. If you haven't already, I don't know what you've been doing.
Yes, please, go. Go right now.
Yes, do it. Don't
go
listen
watch
to us.
it. Don't go to work. Don't go to school. Watch it.
Yeah. The
Throw your
show
life
is
away.
school, kids. The show
is life now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you, Shannon.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.